Hey y'all. Yeah, if you don't love me at my worst, you'll never love me at my finest. Crispy face. Yes. I got home about 9 o'clock at night. I don't know what time it is now. I've been trying to upload into Facebook like all of the pictures and stuff that I got and put my post out on Facebook. Long story. And you're gonna love it because this is the best kind of heartfelt shit I've kind of had in a long time. Hang on, I gotta move my vest because it's in my jacket. Oh, all right, now I can get comfy. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's start with the ride. All right, so my mother knows I'm crazy as hell, and I had a friend a couple years ago get diagnosed with lung cancer. Now, he is a picky ass eater, and I was really, 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 really worried about him, um, because of his diet. In that regard, I'm kind of neurotic. I follow all these doctors who tell you don't eat sugar, right? Well, he was a type 2 diabetic, and he was, struggling with that. And then on top of that, he gets this cancer, right? And, sidebar, his mom is delightful. I fucking love this woman. She's just so sweet. I love her. Like we were like the whole time we were growing up, she was like, kids will be kids. Yeah, and God, I just wanted to squeeze her, but she fell out of bed because she's old. She's like old like my mom, right? She fell out of her bed and she like cracked 3 of her ribs. And she's like walking around totally jovial and in pain. Okay, so this gives you a representation of what kind of people we're working with here. He was delightful. He was absolutely delightful. She is delightful. Let me pause this a second because I got home from this ride and I need to de-adrenalize because I am like wired for fucking sound. Okay, anybody who rides knows this. That's why a lot of us drink. So hold on. Okay, so yeah, tracking GLP-1 lessens your tolerance. Yeah, unless you've been on a ride for the last what time did I leave? I left at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was 12 hours. It takes me 12 hours to ride on the motorcycle, and I stop like you can see the personality difference because I'm still not unwound. I didn't even put the damn bike in the garage because I am so tired, wired right now. I will likely drop that fucker right in the drive, and I am in no mood. I am in no mood to try to lift that bitch. Anyway, this is beer 4. Yeah, it feels like 8. GLP-1's a motherfucker. Anyway, so when I started out, I have a short uploading right now. It gives you kind of like the timeline because I was texting videos, to a buddy of mine because it's easier for me to just like hit the phone and hit the camera, like open it up, hit the camera, and do a video of me, and then like when I go get fuel, whatever, like, or even like just embed it in the text while I'm riding, than it is for me to try to type every fucking letter, right? So, I mean, I've got these little quirky ways of being able to do things, and I'm so used to my bike when it's in motion. It's when it stops we have issues. So, long story short, these are little clips that it's a compilation of little clips of me dodging storms. Now, It was around, I think it was on the 17th when that storm hit, Indiana and the Chicago area. It was so big. It went across the entire north section, and it had like tails. It looked like a fucking sperm, dude. It was this big ball of shit. It came across, Illinois and Indiana and across, and then it dissipated across Kentucky and went into North Carolina. And it had this strip of crazy shit. Looked like a sperm tail. And it wasn't moving. I needed to leave on the 18th. And the reason why I needed to leave on the 18th was because I was going to stop in Elmira, New York, where I have family. Whether it be Prattsburgh or Elmira or in that area, they have hotels and stuff. I was going to stop there because that's 12 hours, right? And I do have cousins in Prattsburgh and, Elmira. And stop and hang out for the day because I don't see these people like once every 40 fucking years, right? So I did that. That was a plan, and that's what happened. I ended up hanging out with one of them. There's 3 of them up there. One of them is in North Carolina. The other one, he's kind of disinterested in everything. He just, he's retired. He is what he is. But anyway, he loves motorcycles. So I figured, I'll just stop in and see him. And he can see my bike. And, we'll bullshit for a little bit. And he's the one who taught me how to roller skate. And, that kind of thing. But he's, like, way older than me. Like, yeah, he was, like, when I learned to skate, he was, like, 16, 17 years old. He's way fucking older than me. Anyway, because I was like 7, I think. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway. 4. No, I was 4 when I started learning to skate. I was 7 when they brought me to the rink. At night. With a lot of people there. Yeah. He kind of watched over me. But anyway. I went to his sisters. And hung out with her and her family for a little bit. And it was about 24 hours. And so I could rest up. So the drive from Elmira to where I need to go was about 4 hours. Right? So I left at about 5 in the morning. And I got up there at 9 in the morning. And I stopped in to my buddy's my buddy's house, and visited with his mom. Now, me and his mom, she has always been kids will be kids, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And she didn't stress about anything. And, yeah, she didn't let shit get to her. And we loved being at their house growing up. So, anyway, I visited with her for a little bit. And then it was about a few minutes before 11. They wanted everybody to start coming in like between 11 and 11:30 to get staged, get the bikes lined up so we could get moving. And be like, ready? And we all there was like no riding prayer. I'm so used, everything is so different. I'm used to like formal hand signals, like everybody gets single file because whatever, a little bit of a briefing. I'm military, right? So I go to a VFW ride or I go to an American Legion ride, and everything is choreographed, right? The last ride I went on, it was the best ride ever. He stood up there and he said, listen, we got hand signals, all right? It's like, we want staggered, we're going to go 2. We want everybody single file around corners, we're going to go 1. We're going to just send it up. Send it up. Somebody's going to send it. We're all going to send it. Send it as far, everybody just send it. So the communication is there, right? They designated that last ride, for the American Legion, they had designated like 4 people, and they said be on the lookout because you're going to be single file after we go around corners and stuff until all of our road blockers get into place, right? This ride, it was not like that. It was not organized like that. So I was a tad bit nervous, but all in all, it turned out well. No accidents, no, anything. But oh God, I was nerve-wracked. But I had a fantastic time. So when I left, I was being rained on. I was in my driveway, getting my bike packed up. And anybody who's ever gone on a road trip on a bike knows that it's like trying to pack to go to Europe for a month with a carry-on. It is so frustrating, right? You need gear. You need a coat. I had to fit this bitch somewhere. It was 80 fucking degrees when I left. I had rainstorms coming through. I'm not going to wear it. Because this is a wind blocker. It's amazing. Yeah, it was like 91 today. And I rode it in 91-degree heat coming through Cincinnati. No. When did I finally take it off? Right before Louisville. It was cold this morning when I left. And my vest. And long sleeve t-shirts. And tank tops. And change of clothes. And you those that know, they know. Anyway, so packing for a ride is kind of, hinky. Anyway, so I got to my cousin's. I pulled out all the stuff that I needed. All my little battery banks. Now I have these little battery banks that go to that jacket, but I live on those battery banks. I have 3 of them, and I charge them all the time because I'm using them to maintain power on my phones at work, because my truck only has limited power sources. It's easier for me to just bring my own. Anyway, so I leave during these storms. I have to battle a storm. This thing's fucking scary. It finally got to a point, it's like, you know what? You're going to get wet no matter what you fucking do. So, Megan Trainor, thank you. Because there I am, getting rained on. Now, it was fun. When I looked at the sky, and I was like, oh, that looks mean. Let's get off here. It's a pilot. Let's just pull in there. I was only a quarter tank down. I went ahead and topped it off. The lady's like, how far are you going? I said, New York. She's like, no way. I was like, yeah, wait. And I wasn't even to Louisville yet. I hadn't even got to Louisville yet. It was weird. Anyway, I had gotten into Kentucky, and I was just underneath this band of clouds. And while I was traveling, I had a friend of mine who didn't attend, but she was concerned about me. She's like, you're crazy. That's really, I know you're going to fucking try to do this, right? So I would take screenshots of the weather radar and send them via a message on Facebook, right? Or it was like a post. One of the guys that I'm friends with, there's 2 of them that I'm really close to, and this guy that had passed, they had he had posted something and was like a reminder, and one of the girls had said yada yada yada, and I was like, I'm on my way, and she was like, you be careful, right? So I kept her updated with these little screenshots of the weather radar, and I'm blue dot in the middle. This is where I'm at, as I was traveling. And on the same line, I was communicating via video to the other friend who I talked to. We have each other's phone numbers. I haven't been in New York since 1992, but I still talk to these people, right? So this one male friend, him and the other one are in Lacona for the week, right? So I'm sending him videos. It's like, yeah, I'm chasing clouds and dodging rain. We're good, right? But he's also seeing, the other friend is like, so they're out at Lacona, and I'm sending videos to the one friend, and I'm updating the comments on the other friend, because I didn't want to bug him, because he talks to his wife and, whatever. Well, they both talk to their wives, but, yeah. So, they're both getting it. So, the one friend is like, yeah, here's where she was when she took that video. And they were looking at the band, like, the radar. They're looking at it, they're like, Jesus Christ, that girl's crazy, right? So the one, when I get up there, he says to me, he's like, yeah, the people that we were talking to are like, yeah, we got this one friend, she's down in Tennessee, she's fucking nuts. She is riding up here. And they're like, you're fucking kidding. No, they got storms everywhere down there. No, she's fucking riding through them. We got video. And there I am. So there's the shorts. Me riding through the shit. Anyway, but the one, after the storm, it's like a 4-second, because I forgot to hit the fucking record when I wanted to hit the record, because I was actually recording something legitimate, right? And I totally forgot to hit the button. And I'm like, anyway, so you got 4 seconds of me like, shit, and putting the phone away. Yeah, I'm great that way. And so I get on the road after literally the sky like opened up and it downpoured. Well, while I was sitting there getting fuel, another biker pulls up next to the pump across from me, right? And he's putting on his rain gear. And then a camper pulls up because they can't fit in the spot they get their fuel. So they're pulled up alongside me and they're stretching the thing across the way. And I was like, I was just concerned you hit me, whatever. And we were laughing. And we were, that rider and me are sitting there like gabbing with them. And then they leave. And then a construction crew shows up. And the one guy passes my bike and says, nice scooter. And I was like, thanks, whatever. Anyway, I'm just sitting there drinking water. And I'm waiting for the sky to get done doing its thing. And dude is putting on his rain gear, and he had traveled from God fucking knows where, but he was going to Indiana, and then he was going from Indiana to Arizona, and then he was going from Arizona to Florida. Yeah, we gabbed. We were having a little powwow. All the guys from the construction crew, I mean, it was this great big, like, diesel dually, type of thing. They all, like, unload, and they're all standing out there drinking sodas, and some of them meandering into the pilot, and some of them coming back, getting in the truck, just bullshitting, whatever. And as I am rolling down the road, getting rained on, after I finally just decided, like, fuck this, I'm going. I make time, get there, right? So I'm right lane ranger in it, on the bike, jamming to tunes. Megan Trainor, Me Too is playing, and I'm just a freaking bebopping, and I'm just getting spattered, and glasses are on, and I'm like literally doing this. I got gloves on, and I'm like wiping the lenses as I roll down the road. There's nothing I can do, and I'm not gonna wear rain gear. It is so fucking hot. I can't. I have it. It's in the drawer right there. So anyway, I make it up there. Everything's great. And I make it to the cousins, and we spend the whole day talking, she's filling me in on 45 years of shit. And I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, the next morning. wash face, do makeup, get, vroom. Off I go. Send a video to the boys. I'm on my way. Anyway, 4 hours later, I get up to that neck of the woods. I stop in to see the buddy that passed, his mama. And her and I chat for a little bit. She lets the dog out. The dog is kind of crazy because it's deaf. But, yeah, it's a good thing I was there because it tried to attack her sister-in-law. Anyway, yeah, that wasn't a good thing. Anyway. So, I sat with her a little bit. I checked the clock, and I was like, it's 11 o'clock. They want us to start staging up the bikes by then. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave. Now that you've got someone here to help you do whatever, I'm good. And I'll see you before we kickstand up, because I guess they want you there before we leave, right? Now, she was not, she didn't go out to the bar that we went to. It's called Tinny's. Lake Desolation. That's the lake it's on. Desolation. That's, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the one buddy was telling me, have you never been out here? I was like, I'd never been out here. I said, we might have drove here. We might have been out here. I wouldn't know. I was a passenger 99% of the time when we were teenagers doing anything devious. I wouldn't remember. But it is out there. And that was my buddy's favorite place to go. It's got snowmobiling and ice fishing and all sorts of stuff in that area. And that was his haunt. He loved it out there. So that's where we rode to. And it was kind of tricky. There was one corner, I was like, whoa, I can't find my gear. I was like, whoa, this is bendy. So I was like clicking the clutch, trying to find a decent gear to sit in, to get around it. It was a little tricky, but we made it out there and we all parked and went in and had a beer, chatted for a little bit, talked amongst each other, told some stories, whatever. And everybody was like, you what? Yes. Yes, I did. I rode my 2018 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse from Gallatin, Tennessee, all the way to Lake Luzerne, New York. Not all in one shot. I took a 24-hour break in Elmira. And my cup runneth over. The other buddy, the one buddy I was sending the videos to, there was the other one. His mom and his family, we're like a hockey family, right? So my sister played hockey, and she still plays hockey. She has one of those dry skating rinks in her basement. If you don't know what that is, you're gonna have to look it up, because I didn't even know what it is, and I haven't seen it yet. But she put it in last year. Anyway, you can real skates. Yeah, no water needed. It's wild. Anyway, that buddy's mom was real close to me and my sister, just through hockey and, everything, and me skating, and me and that guy used to, we were like puppy loves. I was in 7th grade, he was in 9th grade. Boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing. And then that kind of died. You know how it is. Anyway, he's married now. His wife and I were like, she was like, you made it. I was like, yes, I did. Yeah. That kind of town. Anyway, so he was like, do you know who that is? And his mom was like, I'm not sure. He's like, that's, and she was like, oh my God. And she come up and she bear hugged me. I was like, oh my God, this is so great. And then he says to me, he goes, do you know who's standing next to you? And I'm like, no. He's like, I was like, oh my God. He was just like this big when I laughed. He's like, yeah. And he's got gray hair now. This is how long I've been away from this town. All these people have like grown up. I don't even recognize them. There was one individual, I saw him and I'm like, and they said his name. I was like, and I asked him just to be polite in case my memory was kind of slipping. What's your last name? And I was like, oh my God. I said, your mom just passed away, didn't she? He's like, yeah. I was like, I loved your mom. Your mom was fucking fantastic. She was the best mom ever. Now, you want to delve into the childhood trauma? That woman saved me. And I told him the story of it. I said, so you can corroborate with your sister later. But that woman saved me. Absolutely. That I worship. He was like, yeah, we saved a lot of kids in that town. I was like, some of them didn't turn out so good. I said, but yeah, your house was like the safe haven. You know, I didn't even want to go home. That's the reason I didn't want to go home. You know, I hated my house, right? I hated my family. And I would rather just stay there because everything was fucking chill all the time, right? He's like, yeah. That is absolutely fucking, you know my family. I was like, yes, I do. You know, I was best friends with your sister for the longest time. And she witnessed some of the tomfoolery that happened in my house. So, yeah, it was kind of, you know, I had a great visit. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. It was one of the most endearing. It was endearing. You know, the one guy that I sent videos to, shit, I think I hung out with him pretty much every day or every weekend for like 3 years. Me and another girl and another guy. I don't think they speak anymore. I think they like had a fallout that was like kind of tragic. He didn't even talk about him. So I was like, I wasn't going to mention. I heard he's like, yeah. But yeah, the turnout was amazing. The crowds of people that showed up that didn't go on the ride was incredible. The food was great. You know, it was a very warm welcome. And the kind of the sidebar funny is one of the people, I don't know who it was, they had come up to both are dudes that I'm friends with, and they said, you guys came from Lacona? And he was like, oh no, we're shadowed. And I looked at him, I said, what do you mean you're fucking shadowed? He goes, you. I was like, oh, that's what you mean. Oh yeah, ride my coattails, bitch. I came from Tennessee. And she was like, oh, are you kidding? I'm like, yeah, I'm not kidding. I drove from Gallatin, Tennessee to be up here for this fucking ride. I would not miss this for the world. Absolutely fucking not. I grew up with that man. You know, this guy that passed away, he was, you know, I learned engines through a Cordova, whatever the fuck. It was a big, brown, long boat of a car. This boy had put in this crazy system stereo and played Scorpions and Kiss and White Snake and God knows whatever, you know, fucking hair band was popular at the time. He had that shit blaring like crazy and he would talk over it, talking about engines. The horsepowers and, you know, the pistons, tie rods, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I got my mechanical education hanging out with this guy. Because we would just cruise around. Because he would just waste gas. Because it was fucking cheap back then. Yeah. Yes, I remember when gas was 19 cents a gallon. I'm giving away my age. Anyway. Yeah, it was probably... shit, it used to cost... I can't even remember what it was. It was less than $1. Like 87 cents a gallon when I got in the military. So it had gone up a little. Now it's $5 a gallon. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm spending the same amount of money to fill my motorcycle tank as I did my Grand Am. Back in 1994. Anyway. So, moving on from that. But I had the best time. So, anyway. This passed from the 18th to now. And here I am. Sunburnt, windburnt. And yes, I have a remedy for this. Yes, I do. It is in my bag. PERBELLE has a CC cream. It is white when it goes on. And we're going to go ahead and do it. Just to show you how good this shit works. Hang on a second. Let me get it out of the bag. Alright, so for all you riders out there. It is, this stuff. And if you're like crazy like me, and you don't wear a face because you're puffing all the time, and you get windburn, sunburnt shit. If you're a beach bunny and you get sunburned on your face, let me show you the magic while I am in my kitchen, where it's like I look like I have like rosacea and butterfly rash from hell. You don't need much. Teeny tiny little bit. If you need more, you can add more, but I usually don't need that much. Watch how fast this shit clears up your fucking redness. It's wild. It is wild. I still have my bandana on. I'm just gonna evenly distribute it for a minute, and then I'm gonna rub it in. Give me a second. I don't do makeup things. I really don't. I think it's kind of fucking mental. But this stuff will cover up a fucking sunburn in like 30 seconds. Now, you're wondering, okay, now what? Yeah. If you're really that bad, you probably need to see a doctor. But, I put on a foundation over top of this stuff. It's a CC cream, so it's kind of like a primer. But anyway, it will blend to your natural skin tone almost instantly. I know it looks a little white right now, but give me a minute. Let me finish putting it on and I'll show you. I'm just dark skinned as it is, so. Now, this is, my arm tan, but where I had it on my hand, it's a pinch lighter, but it doesn't matter. It covered it up, right? That was way too much. I could have probably used a tenth of that little dab of shit. It does not look cakey. You're not swimming in cake. Huda. Your 19 layers of fucking makeup. God knows. You smile, your fucking face will crack. Anyway. But underneath that, usually I put like something like this. I'm doing this before I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go wash my face before I go to bed, but I just want to show you how to fix it quick. I have this stuff too. If you're real red and this don't work, yeah. I got out to Idaho. Holy mother of God. I was crispy. Crispy. I had that western setting sun in my face. So then I use a regular foundation that is my color. You know, I use Almay. I don't even think they make Almay anymore. I think they went out of business. It's hard as fuck. I gotta buy their shit off Amazon now. And I just... There you go. Not so bad. I have different shades of this too. So when I tan, I mix stuff together to make sure that it matches my skin. But that just gives you an idea. Sunburn gone. I are smarter than you think. So anyway, yeah, I came home, I'm pretty crispy. But no one at work will ever know. Unless I take off all my makeup. Anywho, I had the best time. It was an amazing turnout. My cup runneth over. I was very teary-eyed and emotional on my way home, thinking about everything, and I was like, yeah, this is the fucking, it's fantastic. I had the best fucking time. So we've been all posting stuff on Facebook, you know, and just, I have no words right now, not to mention I'm really fucking tired and I'm trying to get drunk so I can go to sleep. Doesn't take much anymore, thank God. Yes. Whatever I spend in the GLP-1, it's kind of making up for it, as I don't have to spend as much in liquor. But anyway. I have not gone in, and I haven't gone past this kitchen since I got home. Well, yeah, I did. I went and peed when I got home. And that's as far as I got. So, we are going to disrobe and get my ass into some pajamas, and tomorrow is a new day and I will take care of shit then. But my mom came here while I was gone. I've been puffing all day and road and yucky. And I gotta turn the volume up on this because I don't know how long I'm gonna sleep. And I need to hear notifications because I have a package that needs to get delivered tomorrow, and it will likely come tomorrow, and hopefully I'm awake before it gets here so I can sign for it, because it's gotta be signed for. So anyway, it was supposed to be here before I left, and that just didn't happen. So buddy of mine was, he was like everybody's bestie. He went out of his way. This t-shirt he bought me because I posted it on Facebook. He's like, what's your address? So I sent him the address. I was like, what? Why do you need my address? He was like, oh, just be on the lookout. I was like, what did you do? He's like, I got you something. He bought me this and these stickers. Hang on. I want to cover that sticker up because I'm a fucking whack job. But he got me that one. And it says I ride my own. So, right before he passed away, I had gone online and I had bought me another t-shirt because I wanted to, right? And I got them in purple. This one's got it. Nope. How did you get a nick on you? Anyway, I got the purple ones on both sides. Of course, my Chiquita banana sticker. Yeah, I am in the club. My mom has my other helmet. It's matte finish, but it's kind of like this. And this one's a lightweight one. I wore this the whole time. I didn't even take it off the whole time. And in the states where you don't require a helmet, I usually take it off. It's so light, it didn't even bother me. I fucking love it. Thank you, dude, to help me with my bathroom. He got me this for Christmas. I was like, how much was that? He's like, not that much. I was like, really? He's like, no, $75. I was like, really? I don't know what my other ones cost. I got that one free with the bike. The other one I got free with the bike. So this one he bought for me. So I know my full face was like hundreds of dollars. And I can't remember what I paid for it. But that one does not have a Chiquita banana sticker. And no, I don't ever fucking wear it. But anyway, yeah, I just can't. I don't care if it rains. I'll deal. I will ride in the rain without rain gear. I rode in the rain one year coming back from my daughter's wedding with chaps. I had chaps. And I was literally crotch soaked. Anybody who's ever rode a motorcycle and knows what it means to be crotch soaked. That means the sky has opened up and it is blinding fucking rain. And you're going to get wet all the way up to your earlobes. And I was. Like squishy feet. Yeah, when I walked. That's how wet I was. I took chaps off, put them in the shower, hung them up on the curtain rod. We've configured a way to hang them up in there. Yeah, it was not fun. And a week after I got home, they were still wet. I ended up throwing them away because they were ruined after that. Yeah, I got caught in that kind of a downpour. And it was so close to home that I was like, I'm not going to stop anywhere. I'm going to get my ass home, get dry. So, anyway, I left on the 18th, stopped 19th, spent the night, got up the next morning, headed up to this ride, did the ride, hung out with friends, had a great time, visited with my buddy who had passed away, his mother, who I absolutely adored. She's the sweetest person on the earth. I fucking love this woman. And I can't express enough. I don't know what, I have a depressive condition called dysthymia. I don't know what joy feels like. But if I were to imagine what joy feels like, I would say that it would feel like that. Being welcomed after having been gone since 1990 something. Everybody just being like, oh my God, how are you? Oh my God, you rode from Tennessee. Yeah. So, funny joke was, the shadowed. Yeah, ride my coattails, bitch. And he was like, you got me on that one. He goes, I've never rode like you ride. I've never done 1,170 miles in less than 24 hours. I did that once. Yeah. Here to Colorado. Denver. I left here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Got to my sister's at 4 in the morning. Mm-hmm. She's in Aurora. 1,172 miles. Less than 24 hours. My daughter is out in Idaho. It's like 1,300 1300 something. 1380. Might be a little more. I don't know. I go to Lincoln, Nebraska. That's about the area, region that I stop in. When I stop, I have no idea how many miles it is. I go from here to Lincoln, Nebraska. And I stop, get a hotel, then I finish off the trek. It's about 600 miles to my daughters. Takes me about 6-7 hours to get there. It's 80 miles an hour. Yeah. You go through Wyoming and whatnot. Yeah. It's like 80 miles an hour. So, this one, I was doing like the speed limit, 5 over. There's a few times I opened it up just to get around people because they're being stupid. You know, driving like idiots. But other than that, I had a great fucking ride. This has been a great friggin' ride. So, I go back to work on Tuesday. So I have tomorrow off. Because I took it off. I always need an extra day to recoup. So I always take that extra day after. So I get back from wherever, and I always schedule so that I have a day that I can regroup before I get back to work. But as you can see, that Parabelle and a decent, good foundation covers up the sunburn. Well, it doesn't cover it up entirely. I could probably use some green stuff on there and kind of, do a little, yeah. But you get the idea. That's pretty damn good. You gotta admit, from the start of this video to now, fuck yeah. Y'all, have a great evening. I am so grateful. I have 3 new subscribers. I don't know who you are. I have not checked any notifications in the last 5 days. I've been trying to keep up with, communication with Facebook and whatnot. But, yes, if you do see the video on the Facebook, if you can actually open it, yes, I am the one with the braids. That is me. I braided my dreads just so they would not be fucking bugging me the whole ride, and I have not taken them out yet. I took them out to redo them, but I haven't taken them out since I got home. So, yeah, I'm kind of digging this. It's actually kind of nice. So, it's not getting in my way. I might deal with this hairstyle here for a little while. You might be seeing me in braids often. So, y'all, thank you. And anybody who cares to watch, thank you. And say a prayer for each other. Everybody is going through something, and not everybody is on here talking about it. They're just not. They're holding it in, and they're bottling it, and they're going insane because they don't have the outlet. And as mental health awareness becomes a little bit more popular day by day, it's becoming extremely popular. Everybody is realizing now something is fucked up with somebody. The compassion that has been lacking throughout the decades. People are starting to be like, you don't realize what they're going through. They may be worried about being 4 cents short on their fucking electric bill and shit getting shut off. There's some people out there that are like, yeah, your 4 cents, they wouldn't do that. There's some states that will. Yeah. that kind of thing. So, just be good to each other. Peace out.